let this VOODOO sing, man. Man, gotta love the sound of that with the long tube headers in E85. Now, welcome back to the channel, everyone. In this video, we're gonna be talking about oil consumption, the dreaded topic when going ahead and researching or picking up, or after you go ahead and pick up a Shelby GT350. Now, let me give you guys some backstory on my car so you guys know where I'm coming from and why the data is the way it is. Now, I have a 2016 Shelby GT350. This is a Gen 1 VOODOO. This car, when I did buy it, has 10,800 miles on it. And as of right now, it has 13,729. Now, I had the oil changed immediately before I actually picked up the car, so I knew that we were gonna be good. Now, I did my first oil change on this car after 2,500 miles, and those are gonna be the intervals that I am gonna be changing the oil in my car because of how the way I treat it. Thing sounds amazing. Now, I changed my oil with AMSOIL 5W50. It is expensive. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It is expensive, but that is the oil that is recommended for the 5.2 liter VOODOO. Now, whether you want to agree with it or not, this is a race motor. You have to treat it as such. The recommended intervals to change the oil is 5,000 miles. Now, obviously, I don't agree with that. Because it is a race motor, you want to treat it as if you had a supercharged or a turbo application, and you should really change it every 3,000 miles. Yes, it's gonna be a little bit more expensive, but it's a lot less expensive to change the oil than replacing an engine. Now, last night I went ahead and checked my oil after 1,100 miles since my first oil change. Now, I changed my oil on March 15th. Now, if you guys are a car enthusiast, you guys know what date March 15th is. That is the beginning, or the official beginning, of Texas 2K. Now, during that entire week of Texas 2K, you know, the week Wednesday through Saturday night, I put on 1,000 miles on this car, and then 100 miles after that. And that was 1,000 miles of hard 8250 RPM shifts, going up and down the highway, going to Mexico, just having a great time letting this 5.2 liter VOODOO sing. Now, I'm also gonna put this out there right now. This car is not stock. This car has catless long tube headers, it has a JLT Cold Air Intake, and it is tuned on E85. So that is gonna go ahead and explain what I'm about to show you. I'm gonna put the screenshot on the screen right now. If you guys, hopefully you guys can hear me. I would put the screenshot on the screen right now of what my oil dipstick level looked like after 1,000 plus 100 miles of straight beat up. Now, as you guys can see, the old dipstick level was just under the full dot. And with these new Motorcraft oil dipsticks, that is pretty much full. And this car, from what I can tell right now, and from what I'm seeing and what you guys are seeing, has no oil consumption. And I really do think that is because of how frequent I'm changing the oil, and also the type of oil that I am using. Now, you guys might be also wondering, well, what procedures are you doing with these Gen 1 VOODOOs to kind of make sure that they last, you know, a long time, and that you're not going ahead and putting the motor at risk? I always let the car warm up. You're not supposed to go ahead and redline these cars until your oil gets to around 180, 190 temp. I wait, obviously, until we are at temp, and then I will let the car go ahead and be revved out. Now, obviously, you know, Texas 2K being that week of fun, This car doesn't see red line every single day. I'm not going ahead and beating on it every single day because that's just not necessary. You have to kind of remember and treat your car with respect. You have to kind of understand that not every single time you take the car out, it doesn't have to see, you know, 8,200 RPM shifts, 8250, you know, banging the gears. You don't have to do that all the time. You can enjoy the car at like 6K, but you definitely don't have to go ahead and take it up to 8250 every single time you bring the car out. And that's kind of why I believe that, oh my god, dude, I'm getting so much whiffs of E85 right now. Jesus. This is crazy actually. Like, my car is reeking right now of E85. I love that smell. But I think that's the reason why that so far, you know, knocking everything in here, that we are not going ahead and going through oil. Now, some people have reached out because they also have Gen 1 VOODOOs, whether it be, you know, 5,000, 8, 10, 15, 20K mile, maybe even more than that, VOODOOs. And they've been reaching out and saying that they have been going through a quart of oil every 500 miles. Now, almost all the time that, you know, those people would reach out to me, and I would go ahead and ask them, you know, what are your oil change intervals, what type of oil they're using. They're always recommending or saying that, you know, oh, I've been recommended, or I've been recommending people to run, you know, Mobil 1 5W50 or some type of oil that's actually not certified for these motors. You have to go ahead and treat these cars, again, like I said previously, like a race engine. You want to make sure that you guys are running oil that's actually recommended for these cars. AMSOIL 5W50 is expensive. It's like $200 for an oil change. But again, it's just something you're gonna have to go ahead and bite the bullet when buying a car like this, especially if it's a Gen 1. And even if it was a Gen 2, I would still do the oil change intervals every 3,000 miles at most, especially if you go ahead and enjoy the car, which I know every Shelby GT350 owner does, unless they're just trying to keep it in the garage and be a garage king. I know a lot of guys who say that they change the oil once a year because they don't really drive the car that much. You know, you can do that, but I'm telling you guys, man, if you guys are GT350 owners and you guys are driving your cars, if you guys are enjoying your cars, I'm sorry, y'all. You're gonna have to go ahead and change your oil more frequently, and you're gonna have to bite the bullet and buy oil that's actually going ahead and being up to standard for the motor. Oh man, obviously I can't beat on it right now because it's wet outside and raining a little bit, but I just kind of want to go ahead, take the car out, cruise, let you guys know where I'm at as far as the oil consumption is. So far, I say that we are in the clear. I'll be doing another oil change in about 1,000 miles or so. I'm gonna be doing some things to the car, so I definitely want to change the oil before I start beating on it again. That's kind of where I think I'm gonna start actually beating on the car again, is probably another 1,000 miles or so. Once I get everything situated with the clutch and maybe some additional goodies, that I'll go ahead and, you know, update you guys when the time is right. But I think the real test is gonna be when I do boost this car and monitor and track the oil levels. Let me know down in the comment section right now, for those of you who have Gen 1 and even Gen 2 VOODOOs, are you experiencing oil consumption after being boosted? And if you aren't, what are you doing? Because so far, I think I'm doing it the right way. I'm changing my oil at the correct intervals. I'm running the right oil, and I'm doing the proper procedures, you know, before going ahead and, you know, going crazy and letting this car sing to 8250. Man, dude, like, you don't have to drive these cars hard to enjoy them. You don't. You can just cruise it, and then when you need to go ahead and get on it, you can get on it, man. But like I said, I want to make this video just to go ahead and let you guys know what was up with the Gen 1, because I know some of you guys have been wondering, you know, if this motor is consuming oil. So far, I say we're all good. But if you guys have some questions, concerns, something you guys want to let me know, make sure you guys voice that down in the comment section. And if you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like in the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. This is one of those chill videos, but at the same time, it has to be done because this is actually like one of the most important topics, if not the most important topics, when picking up a GT350. So I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Deuces.